those days I slept like crazy. Sleep 2 hours, wake up and cry, sleep 2 hours, wake up and cry. So I'm very happy to see all of you, and I think that we clearly, there's no doubt, we've been traveling all over the state at various rallies, particularly the veterans. The enthusiasm level is clearly on our side. Thanks to that first debate. American people, after hundreds of millions of dollars of attack ads by the Obama campaign while Mitt Romney was fighting his way through tough primary, the American people saw the real Mitt Romney that night, and he's never looked back. And my friends, that's what this is all about. That's what I just want to talk to you about it. By the way, in case you missed that, you see the approval rating of Congress is 11%. You see that? Now, is there anyone here who is in the 11% who approve of Congress? I've yet to meet anyone in the 11%, and I want to, because I want to ask them what it is they like about us. Listen, I'm down to paid staffers and blood relatives. I mean, that I know of. I landed at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport the other day. A guy runs up to me and says, "Hey," he said, "anybody ever tell you look a lot like Senator John McCain?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Doesn't it sometimes just make you mad as hell?" So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your enthusiasm. I've had the great honor of being with veterans all day from all over the state of Florida. And I'm telling you, there are 1.6 million veterans in the state of Florida. When you multiply that by their families and their supporters, my friends, we get out our veterans vote, we're going to win this election. Because they want a commander-in-chief that leads from in front and not from behind. They want a commander-in-chief who tells the American people the truth and doesn't distort the facts. They want an American president and a commander-in-chief that they can look up to and respect. My friends, this latest fiasco, tragedy of the loss of our ambassador and the three other brave Americans, my friends, this has turned from fiasco to low comedy. I'm sure you saw today, there were emails going out while the attack was going on, identifying Al-Qaeda affiliated group as being responsible for it. And you know, this president went out days later and said, "Oh, it was a spontaneous demonstration sparked by a hateful video." Why would they do that? Why would they continue to do that? It's because they don't want to interrupt this narrative that they got Bin Laden, thank God they did, but Al-Qaeda's on the run. My friends, Al-Qaeda's on the run, back. They're back. They're back in Iraq. They are back all over North Africa. They are back in Libya. They are everywhere. That's because they no longer respect the United States of America. And that's what that's all about. So, my friends, the President of the United States is either deceiving the American people on this issue, or he is so grossly incompetent that he's not fit to lead this nation. Let me mention one other issue you may have seen in the debate. Many of you know, and I think most of you know, that when we tried the super committee, that if it failed, then there would be sequestration, and that meant defense cuts of about $500 billion, $500 billion, and that was on top of another $460 billion that we had already pledged to cut. And so sequestration is staring us in the face on the 1st of January of 2013. And our Secretary of Defense has said it would devastate our national security. Our uniform chiefs have said we can no longer carry out our missions. So we've been begging the President to sit down with us to avert this. Look, in the state of Florida, where we have military from Key West to Pensacola and every place in between, it would devastate, not to mention the industries. It would mean thousands and thousands of layoffs all over the state of Florida. But most importantly, the impact on our national security. So you know what the president said? I don't know if you saw it or not. Sequestration won't take place. Well, you know, the last I checked, we had equal branches of government, and if we want to reverse it, we have to pass a law to reverse it. You know? And then he said it was Congress's fault. Well, you know that renowned liberal, conservative, Bob Woodward today said that the president wasn't telling the truth. It was people in the White House. I really believe that the President of the United States knows no shame. He started out by saying that Mitt Romney wanted to leave troops in Iraq, and he did. My friends, he tried to leave troops in Iraq and failed because of his ineptitude. I mean, time after time after time. By the way, we've done a little checking, and the United States Marine Corps trains with bayonets. While in combat zones, every Marine carries a bayonet. And it's enforceable. And we also done a little checking today. The President of the United States has been on an aircraft carrier once when it was tied up to the pier in San Diego for a charity basketball game. We are trying to find any visit that he had to a submarine. And my favorite, that you may have seen on Fox, thank God for Fox, did you see the one where he's talking about the corpse? You know, maybe there's a zombie out there. Has he been watching The Walking Dead too much? This president does not understand what the men and women who serve in our military go through, their families, the sacrifice and service. And Mitt Romney, like Ronald Reagan, believes in American exceptionalism, American leadership, and I can tell you the men and women in the military support Mitt Romney. So, we all know it's about jobs and the economy. We all know that this election is about that. I'm here in a state that's been hit very hard. And I come from a state, my friends, that was hit very hard. In fact, in Arizona, we have so little water that the trees chase the dogs. And the question we have to ask every citizen in the state of Florida, that we have to ask them, do you think that 4 years from now, you will be better off than you are today? In the last 4 years, and I would remind you, for 2 years, Barack Obama had overwhelming Democrat majorities in both houses. He passed Obamacare, he passed the stimulus package, he passed Dodd-Frank without a single Republican vote and rammed these things through, and the American people rebelled in 2010 and threw a bunch of them out. Not enough, but they threw a bunch of them out. So this president now says that he's going to sit down with us and work things out. One of the determining moments in that first debate was when Blair said, what about reaching across the island getting things done for America? Mitt Romney talked about Massachusetts, the People's Republic of Massachusetts, working with Democrats and solving problems for the people. That's what he did. Did you see what Barack Obama says? He said, sometimes you just have to say no to people. Is that what it's all about? Ronald Reagan used to call Tip O'Neill, the liberal Democrat from Massachusetts, over to the White House. They'd tell a few Irish jokes, and they'd get things done. And when Social Security was going to go bankrupt,